In an earlier video, I was talking about rituals, and one of the rituals that popped up, well, I guess not one, yeah, not a ritual, I guess it's a habit. One of the habits that I have, that I mentioned in my video about rituals, was that I don't use mailboxes. And I had hinted to the fact that folks who knew me knew why I don't use mailboxes, and then I let it go. I let it be right there because, you know, who really wants to know why I do not use mailboxes? But some of the comments have been, you know, I want to know why you do not use mailboxes. And because, why not? Here's my story on why I do not use mailboxes. I will not let it be lost on me that as I was talking about it, a United States mail person walked behind me in the background. That was awesome. But anyway, why I do not use mailboxes begins right now. Dun, 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 dun. So that was a mailbox for dramatic effect. That I'm going to walk over to right now as I cross the street. If I die, I love everyone, and chocolate and steak. Okay, I made it. All right. Dun, 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 dun. So why I don't use mailboxes? A long, long time ago, maybe like, God, I hate to even admit this, but a while ago, many years ago when I was applying to college. So that dates me right there. Many years ago when I was applying to college. So I was still a senior in high school. And, you know, maybe things have changed by now in the whole college application process. I'm sure it has. But back in the day when I was applying to college, you know, we did everything old school. So we had to do, you know, a physical paper application, a letter of reference, all this other good stuff. And at the end of the day, it had to be dropped in a physical mailbox like this one. So I did that work. Did that, and I had applied to a whole bunch of colleges. At the time, I was a mathematics major. That's another story altogether. But at the time, I was, you know, I just applied to all these schools, and, you know, and we'll see what happens. So I sent out maybe 7 or 8 applications to schools I think I had a really good chance of getting accepted into. So drop the applications into the mailbox. You know, and you're like, all right, so you drop in the mailbox, and then, you know, a few months later, you will hear whether or not you got in. So my situation was a few days later, I received a lovely, oversized Ziploc bag from the post office that had a slip of paper. Well, it had shards of paper, like burnt up pieces of paper, but just enough of a corner of an envelope for them to see that it belonged to me, along with a note from the post office apologizing because someone had vandalized the mailbox, set it on fire. We didn't set the box on fire, but I guess they dropped the match inside the box because why not? So basically all of my college applications came back to me in just burnt up pieces of burnt upness. Speaking of fire, it will not be lost on me that there's a fire truck right behind me. It's like, I wonder what will happen if I say, and the second coming. You know, like if it's the second coming, and all of a sudden Jesus pops out and goes, hello. But, so back to my college story, my mailbox story. So yeah, all my stuff basically came back to me burnt up. And thankfully, the one lesson that I took away, or the one thing that I listened to my high school guidance counselors at the time when we were applying to college, they said, you know, basically what you need to do is make copies of everything, like all of your important papers, make copies of it. So thankfully I had copies of all of my applications, all of the essays, all the stuff. So thankfully, you know, I was in a situation where I just had to go now to the Xerox place at the library. I don't even know where somebody goes now to make copies, or if people even make copies anymore. But at that time, I had the copies, and it sufficed. So I was able to make copies and basically restart the process all over again. But ever since that day, you will never ever see me use a mailbox. I just don't. There's only really a few exceptions. Like there's a mailbox down by my job. I work by 4 World Trade Center, and the only reason why I would use that mailbox, I mean, because again, there's like the big post office right by my job, but where the mailbox is closer to the subway station when I get off before I get to the job. So I would go to that mailbox. And the only reason why I go there is because I'm like, you know, it's Lower Manhattan. It's all in Lower Manhattan. So I would like to think that after 9/11, I could basically use any mailbox, and that area is so heavily under camera surveillance, that it's okay, and that so if I drop off something in one of those mailboxes, chances are it will not come back to me in a big oversized bag with a note from the post office saying, sorry, this mailbox is vandalized. So that's why I do not use mailboxes, and I will never use mailboxes, and you will almost always see me going into the post office I just don't trust mailboxes, and it's unfortunate because they're really convenient, but I can't. So I'm done, and that's it. And there'll be another one of these stories soon, but that's all I got for you right now. I'm just giving you this one because someone was like, why don't you use mailboxes? And now you know.